Live. Hey, Achal.
Hi, Sid.
All right, welcome. Hey, everybody. As people are rolling in, let's give a few seconds. I'm going to post the live URL on WhatsApp. Okay, welcome, everybody. I'm Sid Saraswati. This is a monthly show, in a way. Once a month, I try to bring in one of, let's say, the H1B founder graduates who have been part of community and have walked the path and have become a founder themselves, so that they can share notes. We can see how they overcame the questions and permission seeking mindset that some of us, I remember when I was doing it, I had. So today we have Achal Asawa. So welcome, Achal. How's it
Thank you.
going?
Living the dream.
Well, the good part starts now, right? Once you become a
Right.
founder, once you have the immigration and paperwork done, the hard part starts now. That's the
Yeah.
that's the real hard part. So
You know,
as people are joining in, yeah, go ahead.
mhm. It's sort of enjoying the milestones as they come and taking a moment to
Of
celebrate them too.
course. Well, we can get started with maybe Achal, if you want to just take us back all the way. Maybe start with your journey, right? Till the point where you said, all right, I need to figure something out and do something of my own.
Wow. So, like everyone else, and I'm sure a lot of the viewers will relate to this experience. You come from India, you make a lot of sacrifices, and of course, there's this ambition of, okay, I'm going to make it in America, and I'm going to learn more. I'm going to master my field. But in the process, you actually make so many sacrifices. And I was born in a Marwari family, but surrounded by the Gujarati community. So all I've ever seen is people pursuing entrepreneurship and this pursuit of being completely self-reliant. So you come to the Bay Area or you come to the US, finish your masters, and then you find your first job, and you kind of tell yourself, hey, this is going to get me the experience, and I'm going to use this opportunity to sort of pay for
Hmm.
the cost of education. And then somewhere down the line, you're good and you have courage and grit, and that's why you're making it here in the States. And that is actually a double-edged sword. So I
Hmm.
found myself with these, proverbial handcuffs. Being at Meta and then at TikTok. But one thing I did do importantly was always sort of I had this perspective of, okay, how could I do something better? What would a business look like? What would a service look like? So I was always sort of just looking at things differently and trying to understand, like, hey, perhaps there is a different way of doing it. um, and that kind of helped on the job as well. And at TikTok, it was a fantastic role. I was leading a global team, and
Hmm.
but it came with its cost. I was working every waking hour, all the way from
Hmm.
London in the morning and Singapore and China in the evening, with a few hours of lunch and workout in the
Yeah,
evening.
that's
And
every
then
tech job.
exactly,
Hmm.
and every second month I was traveling to some country. It was really cool in the beginning, but then it soon gets very tiring. And in parallel, I was looking at all of you guys just pursuing your dreams and starting your own companies.
Mm.
And it kept me inspired. There was this current of, okay, I need to sort of take action here. The moment was sometime last year where a lot of things were happening with TikTok, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is the opportunity, and I have
Mm,
a few ideas. Let's see how I can take these ideas forward. Spoke with a
mm,
couple of attorneys. Chose Raghwan because he
mm.
actually came recommended not just from this community but from a few other friends who are outside this community, and here we are with an
Very
H1B visa
cool.
and with this. I wouldn't even say permission. I think that was that's that mindset we're in. But you don't need anyone's permission. Let's
Exactly.
go. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I've used, um, I say, crude words on my website whenever like slave mentality. And,
Hmm.
that's pretty much in a way what forums feel like to me. It's like
Hmm.
if you go, when I was doing it, and I talk about
Hmm.
it, when you search online, can I start a business online? And the first answer is no, you'll be deported. Right? Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Your life sucks. We suck. Everybody sucks.
Yeah.
Very cool. So you are very interesting, and I think that resonates with me. I mean, tech, fang jobs, others. You get good money, but they grind the hell out of you. So you are pretty much, I guess, exhausted and burnt out most of the
Yeah.
time. So I think
Hmm.
you doing this, getting out of it's very interesting. I want to explore that more with you. Um, in my situation and some of the others I've spoken to, there's some people like I got cornered too, and I had to, I had this dream to do it, and I had a situation where I could work from home that allowed
Hmm.
me to actually spend time finally and open my second laptop and let's tinker around. So that kind of allowed me to do it. What was it for you that was like the trigger point that said, no, you know what, let me try to build something?
After TikTok, I was looking into sort of what are the key challenges which people are experiencing, and how can I sort of take advantage of my experience in data science, product strategy, operations, and sales. That's kind
Mm,
of what my background is, to try and address the challenges which people were experiencing. And I came across
mm.
quite a few people who were like, hey, if only I had a better way to do, like just sort of communicate my ideas better, or just sort of perform well. Like there was this consistent desire
Mm,
to just sort of do better, where I was like, okay, this could be something where I actually have a lot of experience from my background in sports as well. And having performed at high level in sports and having performed in the industry as well, I think I could guide these guys. And that was it. It was truly this moment where I was like, I have something valuable to offer.
very cool. So you did mention to me, and tell us more about your sport. So you're a world-class skydiver. Tell us more.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. The So I got into skydiving like everyone else, but this is before Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara. So there's this amazing movie with Morgan Freeman. It's called The Bucket List.
Mm,
And so I saw that movie. I wanted to do my first skydive back in college. And it's been what, more than a decade now. So I've grown in the sport. I currently have a couple of world records, a couple of records in India, a couple of records in Asia. So I do what is called as big formation skydiving, where hundreds of people
mm,
come together, make unique formations in
yeah.
one skydive, and it looks easy when you look at it, because everyone who's doing it is basically an expert. But it is one of the most dangerous things you could do,
Mm-hmm.
and for that you truly want to sort of see and identify yourself as an athlete, and sort of imbibe some of the perspectives and the mindsets of an athlete around courage, around perseverance, around kind of practicing again and again
Yeah.
until it gets
Discipline.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where skydiving comes from, and another motivation to get this H1B sorted was because we have another world record later this year in October, and
Mm.
this is where I train. This is US is where most of the training happens for the sport.
That is so cool. I
Yeah.
think that's great to hear, which is, there is something that's outside of tech and, and other, similar hobbies. This October record, what's the, it's an attempt to break a record?
Yes. So we will have 100 people, 101 people jump from 7 odd planes at the same time. And we'll try to make 4 unique formations in one skydive. It's never been done before. It requires the kind of precision and agility from all participants,
Yeah.
which is basically hard to find. So we'll try
Wow.
it in Arizona, and hopefully we'll be successful.
Amazing. Is that going to be live streamed? You should drop a link. I think we'll all
You
cheer for
know,
you.
Interestingly, skydiving as a sport does not lend itself to live streaming because it's very effective,
Mm,
right? You're in the air for maybe 1 minute of formation work, and then you
mm,
break off, and everyone's sort of trying to land safely in a very small area. So not a lot of sponsors, can't
mm.
really make a lot of money in that sport. But I'll be sure to share some links afterwards, just sort of pictures
Yeah,
of
some
the event.
photos. That'll be amazing. That's super cool. Good luck, man. If
Thank
we
you very
don't
much.
talk, I'd love to hear about it. Well, so let's, for some people watching, they'll be asking, well, all that sounds cool. How do I get to do what Achal is doing? Right? Not skydiving, but so tell us, maybe um, from your perspective, tell us when you were, thinking about H1B founder, this coaching idea of mentoring and taking, your passion, your immigration problem, and your experience, clubbing it together. So, what felt, I guess, uncertain and intimidating to you?
The Broadly, if you think about it, right, and I think you sort of brought it up top that when you look online, there's just so much information about this, and it's all dated information. In fact, after posted on the group, just sort of congratulating you and a couple of people who have helped me along the way. Um, a lot of questions which I received from people, just sort of direct messages, where sort of again, just the old knowledge where people expected an employee-employer relationship, so on and so forth.
Mm,
So that's literally it. Just sort of this lack of clarity around how do you go about pursuing this, all the moving pieces, and there are quite a few moving
mm,
pieces if you're doing it yourself. So how do they come together? How do you prioritize what needs to be prioritized? The cost involved in all of it. Uh, so almost
correct.
every aspect of this process was basically, you've made a decision that okay, I am going to go down this path, and this is the information I have. I'm going to proceed with the information I have, and along the way, as new information comes to life or comes to my awareness, I'm going to make game time decisions. And that was sort of an adaptation when your immigration, your future, your career, your partner who's also over here, when all of
Hmm.
those things are at stake. So that uncertainty is kind of difficult to live with.
For sure. And so we want to share, Achal. So, what did you do? Um, and to the point where you're here. So, what was your first step, and how did you, maybe something that would help somebody in your position right now to
Hmm.
take that first step? What is that one thing that they should do?
Yeah. Um, the answer obviously will depend on people's own goals and ambitions and what they are trying to do. And this is a practice I've been doing for more than a decade. I have this big whiteboard on which I basically write either a value or I write something which I'm trying to achieve, and it's right in front of my bed. So every morning when I wake up, this is the first thing I'm looking at. And right now, as I'm in this builder mode, it literally says, I can outwork everyone. And
Very cool.
that
Yeah.
is sort of the mindset I'm trying to kind of maintain. So whoever is listening to us, I see there are about 22 people. Like, if I was to ask them to do one thing, take a piece of paper, and if you have a whiteboard, just write your goal, write your main objective. If it's to start a company, write that, and just commit to yourself that you're going to read that every day when you wake up in the morning and every night before you sleep. And slowly and surely, you will start taking actions towards sort of resolving all the complexity,
True.
uh, to kind of make things happen.
That's true. And um, I I think I wrote about it in one of the Substacks, which is there are certain beliefs, limiting beliefs, and what happens is because of the dated information you have online, and because of actually even the kind of people who have gone through so much that is so dejected and kind of pessimistic, you find information that kind of confirms your limiting beliefs that okay, that's
Yeah,
not possible, and
yeah,
that's why you don't take actions. So I say that is the practice that I have done a lot of time. What Achal is saying, you put an objective, you think about it, your mind, basically that's how your brain works. You find
yeah.
ways to achieve the goal.
Yes.
And I also love what you said. I will outwork everybody. I think I remember when I was a software engineer, remember I used to believe that mantra as well. I was like, I'm the hardest working person in the room. I
Yeah.
think The Rock says that, something like, be the hardest working person in the room. It was a great, and it's not arrogant. It's not that I'm smarter than others. It's more like, am I giving my 100%, and do I believe it myself?
Yeah.
uh, and that shows in your stance, it shows in your body language, and even it then it's not about failing or winning, it's all about, I'm doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
So Achal is a coach, you can tell, right? That's very good. um, I'm looking at chat, folks. If you have questions, drop in. I think sometimes these sessions, at least people who are live right now, you have an opportunity to ask live, and a lot of people are going to watch it offline after I post it. Um, I think one thing that resonated with me, I think when you posted it, you said, my immigration future is no longer tied to an employer's decision.
Yeah.
That line was cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us, maybe share more on that line of thinking.
Yeah. So, in all honesty, as I was thinking about entrepreneurship through and through, these, 16 odd years, um, being in FANG, there's a certain type of confidence you sort of have around, okay, you know what, good, life is set, I have this job, if something happens, I'm going to find some other job, so on and so forth. And this is the era where at Meta, layoffs had just started happening. And so the first layoff happened, sort of cracked the bubble a little bit. Second layoffs happened. Now there's no bubble, so to speak. There is no job security, and that's a reality we are all living in. Third, fourth, I think I saw 4 or 5 layoffs over
Mm,
there, and I actually felt disrespected by the company in that,
mm,
a lot of people have put in a lot of effort, and like, my contributions to the company were quite significant as well. And I felt that the manner in which these layoffs happened were basically atrocious. In fact, I think
yeah,
they're talking about it now. They're recognizing it now in
yeah,
2026, when people were experiencing this, back when all of this started.
yeah.
So uh, that's kind of when I also started looking for opportunities outside, and TikTok came along. One of my ex-colleagues was there. He knew what I did, and TikTok needed that exact same problem solved. So they kind of pulled
Mm,
me onto TikTok. Now, at TikTok, it is truly a culture of excellence.
okay.
Chinese values: you do your work, you get it done, and if you don't do it, or if you don't get it done, you're out. They'll find someone else to get the objective done, right? So it's a very
Mm,
company first mindset. and sacrifice for the company type of mindset. So that is where I kind of realized that, hey, my future, my lifestyle, and the love of my life who's over here, they're all at the sort of mercy of someone else's decision, and that was just not acceptable.
Yeah. And most people who in America here, the path from masters to H1B, they live like that for 15, 20 years,
Yeah,
right? Until, the green card and the queue, and, there's still a long way to go there, but
yeah, yeah,
it's, it's incredible. I think that's a mindset. I think if people are, if you want to take away something, it's not tactics. It's not, the step. It's really the mindset. And I think if you can shift that, you'll find your own tactics, and you'll find the right people to help you as well. This is
yeah,
why I think the community, I don't prescribe exact, do talk to this person, give $500 here, get your thing done, because
yeah.
what's the point of getting H1B founders? I mean, you might get a visa, get a company. What next?
Yeah.
I think you're going to have a bigger problem.
Yeah, it is a big problem. I
So,
mean, you're paying for yourself. You're paying yourself a
yeah,
salary, and along the way, you're paying the government all these taxes.
payroll
So,
taxes. So, yeah, I mean, some people do it out of desperation,
yeah.
and that's understandable, but that's not recommended, at least from my end. Some people are asking, let's take some questions. See
Mhm.
if you can read it. Actually, if I pick some that resonates with you.
Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, I see it. All right. Can an H1B holder legally start a company while employed full time? The answer is yes. You can do what is called as a part-time H1B, and
Yep.
the most important thing over here is to ensure that you are in compliance with the law. I do see and hear a lot of people sort of do things which in the current administration can be construed as a breach of your current visa status. So, just like, don't drink and drive, uh, don't work if you don't have a valid work authorization. And yes, you can legally start a company while being employed full time. And when you're ready to work for that company, you can file a concurrent petition for a part time H1B. Anything to add there, Sid?
I mean, I think somebody who's asking this is probably new to the community, right?
Yeah.
So good. That's the number one question people ask. And you can be a founder in America. You don't even have to be in this country. Okay.
Yeah.
So the question that can you start a company on H1B doesn't matter. You can start a company on Indian passport in India, in
Yeah.
Delaware, because that's what America wants. So that's nothing to do with your visa. The harder question and the more nuance is, can you work for a company? And when you say started a company, that's also technically speaking, what does it mean? So define it, right? You own equity in a company. That makes you a majority shareholder, and that changes a bit of nuance around can you work for that company, right? Um, Now, it might go a little complex if I say it, but it might make sense to most people now. Earlier, if you owned more than 50% of a company, um, it made H1B, like hiring yourself or being an employee, a little difficult because H1B stipulated that somebody needs to fire you, okay?
Hmm.
Which is why I call the slave mentality that we have, right? You have to be working for somebody. You got to have employer-employee relationship, the technical term that lawyers will use for this. That changed in 2023 explicitly. Used to be a gray area. And I say gray area mostly because when I did my founders H1B, I could still be the CEO and get fired. Why? Because you could have a board of directors, you can have somebody on top of you governing the company, and they have voting rights. And that doesn't mean they don't own equity. If you've seen any shows like Succession or whatever, the board votes, get the CEO out. That's called firing.
Yeah.
And you can have that happen even when you own the company fully. So you could prove by that logic that you can be an employee-employer relationship. You don't even need to do all that now. All you need is good attorney, right? Proper guidance. There's a lot of compliance work around company formation, like is it LLC or C corp? That question has nothing to do with immigration. You could be a
Yeah.
citizen of this country and still screw it up and not know about it.
Yeah.
That has to do with your long-term vision. What is your business, understanding, taxes, what kind of business you're in, payroll, banking, what is a business stack, right? So that answer, if you unpack it, right, it's a lot of that, a lot of, I hope this community, a lot of people are figuring out. I have a business stack that I propose. I give people, and it's not a big deal. I mean, go for Mercury. If you need a bank, I think it's the most startup friendly bank you can get. I use Gusto for payroll. There are links, I think referral links I can drop. If you have something else, you can do it. You can hire a CPA to do payroll, doesn't matter. And you only need payroll when you are paying somebody on W-2 or 1099. So if you have an entity that you can still have revenue and not have payroll. So they're not the same thing. Having a company and a payroll is very different things. Then, well, there's Launch Club. So there, I'll drop a link here. The Launch Club is what I did is a cohort of 3 weeks. Anybody who is interested in meeting somebody like Achal or similar like-minded people, we walk through company formation, compliance, business stack, building the whole H1B founder packet in a way that you are immigration ready. And then I have sorority law that, Raghavan, that Achal mentioned. He's an attorney there. Then they take your case, and it's pretty much at this point pretty cookie cutter, in my opinion, to have a part-time H1B, a founder visa, and you don't have to quit your job in a way, and you can pursue your passion, right? Harder question, which I am more interested in those situations, is it's not about immigration or get again start a company. You'll get it easy peasy, no big deal. What
Yeah.
is your business? How are you going to make money, and are you going to be profitable, right? That hopefully, as this community matures, which it is already, right? I think we would love to bring in and talk more all about that, right? Eventually. So that's the answer to that question from my end.
It's a very nuanced answer. So I'm sure Akshay, you have a few things to sort of think through. And by the way, I see Ina on the call. Hi, Ina. She's my partner.
Okay. Hey, Ina.
Okay, next question is from Harshdeep. I actually spoke with Harshdeep when he posted about his experience around Picker.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, hey, I have this other idea. I was looking into experimentation at this point of time, and I was wondering if you wanted to join me. He said no. So here
All right.
I'm doing something else,
Uh,
Harsh. So Harsh,
I'm meeting Harsh Deep later today. I'll speak to him. Harsh, why did you do that, man?
so what am I building and what am I offering? It's in the edtech space. So of all the industries which are going to be disrupted by AI, technology obviously is going to be disrupted, agriculture, edtech. Edtech sort of combines my passion for, coaching, education, development, and just sort of what I've been helping people do on the side in sort of some personal discussions. So more to come on that. We've just started development, and hopefully, with the help, with the powers of Cloud Code and Codex, we'll have something live soon.
Very cool. Good luck, and keep us posted, and I think I'm doing this monthly H1B Founder Live. I mean, this is such a I feel amazing talking to somebody like you, and this is why I do it. I get energy back, in a way.
Yeah.
So I would love to do a more, as the community matures, and also WhatsApp is maxed out now. I think 1024 were the max number. I've been thinking about what to do. How do we scale it? And I'll share something about it. I do want to create like what I'm calling an inner circle Um, Many people have asked about what to do beyond H1B. Okay, so I think we had a chatter in the group about it roughly. So just like founders helping founders, in my opinion, what I see works very well is if you find somebody that's one step ahead of you, it's a best match and they can guide you through. Then you find somebody's one step ahead of you. Because sometimes when I speak a lot about business, I may be, I don't know, talking calculus to somebody who's not interested in that at all, right? So I think that peer group really helps. And if you all, if you are not on the WhatsApp group, I'll drop a link, join it. And if you are there, put your ideas in the main group. Um, what shape will that look? And my criteria is very simple. I would really want to have people who can give back, right? The inner circle. So I'll figure out a way to kind of curate that. Um, so I'm not ready to really like launch it, but more on that soon. So that's going to happen. And in time, it's 1:03. I think we can do 10 more minutes for
Okay.
questions.
By the way, on the perspective of kind of having a peer group, that's where I think Launch Club and Inner Circle, these ideas are actually now in hindsight, because I did everything by myself, speaking with Sandesh and Neha. Um, in hindsight, I think I would have joined Launch Club, just sort of have a peer group, have like specific details around these complexities and compliance things which need to be addressed. So can't emphasize enough to kind of join some sort of group and do it together with people, like-minded people. Um,
Yeah, it's a
and
forcing function. I
yeah,
think what I saw in Launch Club, and the reason I do cohorts and not like a group seminar or a video. I thought about doing a video course, but it doesn't help a lot of people. Last Launch Club, which ended like this month, we had 5 people. All 5 are founders now. They all have an entity. And week 1, because you see somebody take an action, and you're like, why I'm not doing it? So it's such a hard forcing function that you're gonna be like, I have no excuses anymore. It's happening in front of my eyes, and I'm the only loser left. So like, I have to take action and do it. So that is very powerful. And even with like-minded people, when talking about Harshdeep, he's rooting for you, Achal. We're gonna bring him next, I think next month, to talk about his journey as well. Harshdeep. The other thing I do is called Win Club, which is more intimate, one-on-one. And part of that group was Harshdeep, and he'll talk about his mega win. Hopefully next month when he comes online.
I'm excited to hear that. Okay, we have 5 minutes left. So we'll just go through this very quick. How does that sound?
Yeah. Why don't you take on, Achal? I'd love for you to answer most of this as much as you
Okay.
can.
Okay. At what stage do founders usually quit their jobs? Uh, I think the stage is personal to a lot of people. If you are already making revenue through employees based somewhere else, and you don't need to take any salary out, then you could keep working your job and be an owner of the entity. The very nuanced answer which Sid gave up top. And whenever you are ready to actually start, you want to sort of transition your visa status from your own current employer to your new company, and you want to sort of take a salary, because if you're on an H1B, you actually have to pay yourself the minimum prevailing wage. Uh, that's kind of a typical starting point. Again, an important nuance, to stay compliant with immigration policies and laws. Don't show active work. You can do preparatory activities, that's different, but don't show active work. That would be in breach of your visa status until you're granted one.
Yeah, you can take salary, obviously. So active work is, I mean, obviously, I think most people would know that. If you don't, you're not. You can only do authorized work on H1B.
Yeah.
And I have a pretty long Substack on what employment means. If you have not read that, I think that's one of the most researched based, right? I spent like 15 agents scroll through all of, I guess, the actual law to find out what does this actual law say about employment. You'll find it if you search for it on a Substack. It's read that. That kind of tells you what gray area means, because a lot of people are confused about what is the gray area. To be very clear, you can be a founder. You can start a company. That's not a gray area. You can raise investment for it. You can pitch it to investors, right? Obviously, hire people. It's your business. And you cannot work for it in a way that, if you're obviously, work means you're taking salary or you're doing a job that requires compensation, right? So even if it's free, but if you're working actively or running, I don't know, day-to-day operations and say, well, I'm not taking salary, that's where you draw the line. You don't want to do that and get compliant there. You could very well, like Achal did, or many people, get a concurrent H1B. You don't have to quit your job, right? Because you need cash flow. It will take you 6 months or 8 months, unless you're acquiring a business. You can do that as well. Have it profitable from day one. But if you're building from scratch, bootstrapping it, I bootstrapped my business. Took me 1 year to get to a point where I could say that, yeah, I can afford. First, my co-founder, we got him full time, so get the salary in, and then I felt comfortable to leave my job and be like, go full time. So you need to have that in you to feel safe enough that I can take it long term. But you need cash flow. One way I think about to think about your other job would be that that's where you're selling your labor, right? Think of that as you're consulting on the side to get the cash flow, and your startup is a product you're building that will take. You want to stop consulting and focus on product. Okay, so you can do both. I don't recommend selling labor as a business idea. You can't scale that, right? Which is your job right now.
Yeah. All right, we're about to hit time, Sid. What do you
All
think?
right. So one last thing. Let's see. I think most of the questions are answered in a way.
Yeah.
Path to freedom, EB1A. So that's a question for you. I think that's a good one for you. What does your path to freedom look like? Are you planning to do EB1A with your company startup?
Sumit, great question. And for me, the path to EB1A is likely going to be in athletics with skydiving. I am fairly recognized in that domain, and I can create the proofs required by USCIS to recognize that. And honestly, EB1A is if you are good at what you're doing, you can figure out a way to excel in that domain, get recognition in that domain, and achieve that. So for me, it's going to be in skydiving.
That's actually pretty awesome. And EB1A, the only thing I'll say is that you don't usually get an EB1A in software engineering. You have to find a niche, a domain expertise. I mean, for me, it was not even AI, it was generative AI, which was very new at that point, right? 2022, it was like the word that just came out of nowhere. So you have to find that domain. If you worked in medical field, if you worked in some sector, take your master's degree, take that sector, take that domain, and you have to prove that you are pretty much top 1% there. And you can do that by building your profile. Your business obviously helps. It's a concrete proof that you're extraordinary. If you can have revenue, if you can do press on it, which is great because you do press for your business, you can put your name out, you can do original contribution. If you can file a patent through your innovation, that's just a sure shot proof that you have original contribution. So business 100% helps. And that's, I think, one reason I recommend people to follow the entrepreneurship path on H1B, because that unlocks a lot of this extraordinary proof building for you, which you can do as an employee, right? So with that said, thanks, Achal, for your time and sharing all that.
Yeah, and thank you for building this community. I mean, it takes a lot of effort. I see you in there actively moderating, and yeah, it takes love. So thank you for building this community and for inspiring.
No, of course, my pleasure. And, I get inspired back. So, I get something in return. So that's good. All right, everybody. Catch you all later.
Take care, everyone.